in this lesson, we're going to be taking the bracket design and we're going to interpret the drawing and make hidden lines based on this drawing. And so we're lucky that the PDF here that I'm going to show you has this already done for you, so you can see what we're doing. The hidden lines are crucial when you're trying to build orthographic views. For example, this is a front view and a side view or a top view and such. So whatever those views are that are corresponding. So here's what we're going to make. So first thing I'm going to do then is I want to make sure that my layer is set properly for construction line. And so you can see there's a green arrow, you hover over it and you select it. And now what I need to do is go ahead and make myself a construction line. And you can start at different places, but I generally, I'm going to go ahead and select a horizontal line, and I'll just, my default is at a 0, 0, push enter. And then you should hit escape. And now what I'm going to do is rather than make new ones, I'm just going to offset this based on my drawing. And so you basically have to key in what you want. And so this first one, you can see is 5.75 inches. And that's actually the height of the part that I'm making. And you can verify this. I'm going to verify all the dimensions after I make this, or part of the way through here. So I'm going to make another one. And this one is going to be at 4.5 inches. You want to select the base, move the arrow in the right direction, and push enter. And then you can actually just push enter again, but I'm just going to go through here and just so we see how to do the offset. And then I'll go ahead and type in 1.75 or 1.75 inches, and that's going to go from the top down. And if you look at your drawing, that's actually representing the radius of the circle, which is kind of like that P. And I'll do that again, and I'm going to make another 1.75 inch construction line. And then before I quit that, it's important that we verify these dimensions. So go to the dimensions. Typically, you would not show these in your presentation drawing, but you're going to be showing construction lines and the dimensions for this activity. All right, so just going to verify what I'm doing here. We can move these out of the way later. I'm just trying to anticipate where the part is right now. Everything is, the dimensions are defaulting to that 0, 0, so you can always move them as you need accordingly. All right, so let's just make sure we have them all. 1.75 inch, and then I'll do that one more time. Now this is actually that radius of the big circle that we're doing. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so then let's go ahead and make some more of our construction lines. And in this case, we're going to make the lines vertical at 0, 0 is my starting point. And then I'm going to go to the offset. And again, I'm going to first build essentially what the part is. So you may need to toggle back and forth between your part and just verify it. But offset here, and this one is going to be at 2.875 inches. And I'll just offset this again. And I'm going to go ahead and type in 0.875, and I'm going to go back with it. And then the last one I need to do for the part is actually 1.625. So I'll hit the offset and then type in 1.625, and then push enter. All right, and now what I need to do is actually, I've got the overall part here. I need to make the gap between the two parts here, right? So let's go ahead and verify these dimensions before we move on. And everything looks good. And let's click the top, whoopsie. All right, let's get that back. So we'll go ahead and verify these dimensions. And it's better to put the dimensions below the part, obviously. All right, and then so far so good. And the last one should be 1.625. Let's verify that. All right, now if I built them correctly, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but you need to show me that you're actually doing this. All right, so you can see the dimensions here. Now I have to do that 1.5 inch. I'm going to do that side profile. And there's also a 1/2 inch of the part. that's got to be accounted for. All right, so what I want to do here is the gap is not, it doesn't have to be 2 inches. Depends on, for example, the top and the front and side view, how much you're trying to put in, but 2 inches is a pretty good side to use. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 2 for the offset, select the outer portion of that part line, and don't worry about those dimensions above it. Go ahead and select it. And then I'll do the same thing. Now I'm going to actually draw what the side view would be. So I'm going to make a part that's 1.5 inches. So I'll type in 1.5, push enter. All right, select the part. Let's go over. And then if I look at my drawing, there's actually a half an inch portion of it. So I'll go ahead and work from the outer size of it here. So go ahead and type in 0.5, push enter, and then click the outer line and move that in. Oopsie. All right, so let's get those dimensions out of our way. All right, I'll go back and clean up that. That last line is actually on the wrong side of the part. That's okay, we can modify this later. And let's go ahead and verify this. So that gap should be 2 inches. All right, that's the gap between the two parts. And then 1.5 inches. Now, okay, that's why we verify everything. All right, and then let's just, what we'll do is just offset that again. It's already there default at 0.5, so I can just push enter, select the line, and then just put it the opposite direction. All right, and then hit escape, and then I can go ahead and delete that line. All right, so I think I'm pretty much done here. I think I have one other line that I have to make, if I recall, a 1 inch line here, but let's continue. Let's do all the dimensioning here, and let's verify everything before we start making our part line. So we're going to make one more offset on the bottom horizontally that's 1 inch going up. So go ahead and select offset, select the line that we want to do, and this should be at 1 inch. All right, and then just verify that dimension. And you have completed making the construction lines with the dimensions. So verify your drawing and we'll continue on.